So this is the fourth video now about Alibaba, and we've been talking about trust both from a design perspective and from the perspective of economics, and we talked about Jack Ma in the first video. Like, if you haven't seen those videos, I'll leave a link in the description below and you can check them out. And in this video I was thinking, I wanted to give just 1-page review of the three main business areas that Alibaba has. Alibaba Group is a very, very complex group of companies. They have over 100 companies that they have invested in, and they have the commerce section, which is by far the largest one. And then they have some media, and they have cloud. But I want to focus on the commerce part, and the reason to why I want to do that is that the commerce part is 85% in the last quarterly report, so it's by far the largest part of the business. So I want to break down the three various e-commerce sites that Alibaba's group is owning, and the first one is Alibaba, which is a business-to-business marketplace, and the second one is Tmall, which is a business-to-consumer marketplace, and the third one is Taobao, which is a consumer-to-consumer marketplace. So in this video, let's start with Alibaba. This is a two-sided platform. So there's buyers who want to buy stuff from wholesalers all around the world, and then there's wholesalers, suppliers. And let's start with customer segments and problems. Like, the customer segments are either buyers or sellers, so either suppliers of products or buyers of those products. And typically the sellers are factories all around the world, like everything from small ones to really big ones. And the buyers are everything from your like local one-person entrepreneur to like really big companies. So the problem for the entrepreneurs, the buyers on this platform, is like, who should I buy from? Is it safe? And what should I buy, right? So these questions are solved for a variety of things, like the who to buy from and safety part of this. Like, the problem is solved by having reviews on the site, so everyone is like reviewing the sellers all the time, and you can go in and you can see like, all right, how many stars does this person have on average, and what are like the bad reviews about this particular supplier. And there's a Go Supplier mark. This gives more exposure to the company, but also for the consumer it has a very important feature, and that thing is, if someone has had gold status for like 5 years, let's say, that person will be very risk avert when it comes to losing that gold status for 5 years. So they will probably not scam you, right? So if someone has had this for a long time, it's kind of a trust mediator, and the safety goes up for the customer, right? And it's also valuable for the supplier to have that status for a long time, because then that person will have more business, because people tend to buy from people that have like more trust in the system. So just like in general, the solution part here is a different types of information and data that the buyer gets from the platform. So like reviews, years in business, gold badge or not, and what to buy. It has these features where it has a search bar, and similar products from what you have browsed on before, similar to what Amazon has. And one thing that is interesting in terms of problem and solution is verification. So 85% of the people that are buying something on the platform only want to buy from verified businesses. So what Alibaba does in this regard is that they offer 3 levels of verifications that you can basically buy as a supplier on the platform. There's the AMV, which is the most basic one, and then there's the like full-on assessment, where they actually go out to the factory or supplier and actually validate that this particular that this particular company exists, right? And if we look at some problems from the supply side, obviously they want to sell their products and they want to be seen in the search results, and they want to sell more than 50 products. So there's a limit to what you can sell on the platform for free if you're a supplier, but you can only sell less than 50 products. So if you want to sell more than 50 products, you need to be a gold supplier, and that's a yearly fee. And you know, they also have various marketing solutions that you can pay for. And for the companies, they want to have more exposure on the platform and kind of market towards the buyers. So there's different types of marketing packages that the suppliers can buy from Alibaba. So like, for instance, the option to chat is in this gold supplier package, and then having some exposure in the search result is something you can pay for, right? And when it comes to unique value proposition, I think the biggest one is it's the world's largest B2B marketplace, meaning there would be a huge depth in terms of they will have pretty much any product, and they will have tons of suppliers for all the products. And for the suppliers, that's also like a huge benefit of having all the buyers in the same place and being able to reach out to them. So pretty straightforward. When it comes to unfair advantage, I think the unfair advantage for Alibaba is definitely like having the data about suppliers and having the data about product qualities. What I mean by that is having the data from the reviews, and also having all the data about like how many years has this company been in business for, how long has they had this like gold badge for. So if a company has been trading on the Alibaba platform for like 10 years, they have tons of information about how good that particular supplier is, and that's effectively what you buy as a customer. I'm willing to pay a higher price given that the supplier has a lot of previous transaction data. If a company has been flawless for 5 years pretty much, I'm gonna pay a higher price than if there's no transaction history at all. And then when it comes to channels, they do word of mouth. If you search for Alibaba, it comes up in AdWords. When it comes to key metrics, I was very surprised here at first. Like, I saw this news article and I saw that they didn't think that gross merchandise volume was like the most important metric. That was weird to me, because gross merchandise volume is like how much is sold on the platform every month or year or day, right? And I thought that I just assumed that they had a revenue share, like a cut from every transaction. But it turns out that they don't. Like, it's totally free for the suppliers and the customers to actually sell and buy stuff on the platform. So the only thing they make money on, if you go to the revenue streams, is like if the company wants to be a gold supplier and the marketing, but they don't charge for the transaction fees. And I think an important key metric for them is also obviously like suppliers, because since they are doing this like exposure marketing, like if a company wants to be seen in the search result and can charge for it, it's obviously going to be positive to have a lot of suppliers, because then they can kind of bid against each other for these ads. And then cost structure, like I didn't go really deep into that, but like hosting, R&D, payments, infrastructure. All right, this is just a brief overview. Was this fun? Should I do more of these? Comment below.